Welcome, welcome. I've been thinking a lot lately about my theory on the void and me going into that space and repatterning or recoding my experience. And I've been thinking a lot about fate, co-creation, and destiny and free will, how that all works, right? Because when I hear someone say, you create your reality, I get to thinking about large scale events, how each singular person witnessed that, experienced that, went through that, right? And then, of course, the question comes, well, why would anybody create that in their reality? And I've always felt too that there is a substance of fate, something that is destined. So let's open up this. Before time itself was even measured, there was only the void, that consciousness, right? It was there, it was alive, just free flowing. I've witnessed it a lot when I used to do BQH sessions, and I knew exactly where someone was in that state of divinity itself. And the ancients, they gave it names like the Ensolf and Kabbalah, the primordial waters in Mesopotamia, the dark womb of the goddess, um, God. But it's the place before light or before law or before even the word itself. And the void is not empty, not then, not now. It's almost like it's pregnant with the silence of creation, the uncarved block, the infinite potential from which both fate and free will arise, destiny. So here lies my eternal question. Do we create our reality, or are we bound by destiny? You know, the Stoics taught about the threads of the Logos, the divine reason that orders all. In the Vedas, they declared that our lives are written in karma, yet dharma, conscious action, allows us to shape the way it unfolds. Bending, perhaps? And the Hermetic law reveals as above, so below, as within, so without. You even have things in scripture in the Bible that says, like, um, before you were even in the womb, I knew you. Or to everything there is a season. So is it all fixed? Or are we creators? I think personally, the answer is kind of a grand paradox. I feel like both are true. There is that substance or that feel, that texture of fate that I have always felt. But I also know from working with my own energy and testing theories out that there is a co-creation state. I don't think that we create our reality in the way that it's being taught, like especially like in the spiritual communities. I feel like it's rather we bend that reality in which we are experiencing. Yeah. Fate itself is like the architecture of your soul's journey. It's like the riverbed, and it was carved long before you were even here, before you were even born. And it's the lessons that your internal, that your spirit vowed to me. And free will is the art of the navigation. You cannot change the existence of the river itself, right? It's there, it's embedded, like there it is. But you can learn how to ride the tide or the rapids, or you can learn how to rest in the still pools. You can even learn how to redirect small streams to nourish yourself, to nourish your experience, to nourish the land, right? And then there's the void. The void is the place beyond the map. It's not the river, it's the ocean that the river flows into. And when you step into the void, into that field through silence or through shadow work or through pure, sweet surrender, you touch the raw fabric of reality itself. And I'm telling you, it is quite an experience, absolutely different from any sort of space and meditation I've ever been. Without a shadow of a doubt, you'll know you're there. I will say that. It's, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like you're everything and nothing all at once in that space. And the way that you see your ability to bend the experience in the reality, um, is exciting. So yeah, I've been there. I've sat in that silence where all identities dissolve, where nothingness swallows you. And yet, in that emptiness, the truth of your essence begins to palpitate, it begins to shine clearer than ever. I know I probably sound like a crazy person, but until you experience that, you just, yeah, there's no expression for how it actually feels. And I'll tell you what I did in that space. I began to repattern. I saw how much of my reality was not actually destiny at all, but inherited codes, ancestral imprints, generational trauma, collective programs. You'll see so much there. And there you're able to co-create, you're able to recode them, to bend the fabric of how destiny expressed itself through you. An expression of destiny itself. Huh. So that kind of calls into question, are we ourselves destiny? So I would say being in that void state, this is not an escape. It's not, oh, I'm escaping my fate. I'm escaping my destiny. It's like co-authoring with the divine, being one with divinity to rewrite the patterns, to rewrite your story, to recode how you experience things. It's a weaving your thread with awareness instead of just sleepwalking through the cycles. I don't want to cycle no more. I want to elevate. I want to grow. I want to rise. Or as some term it, ascend. So how do we actually apply this in daily life? I would say observe, witness around you what actually feels like fate. What is fated? So when a challenge arises, don't fight it blindly. Pause. Ask yourself, what lesson is this teaching me? Where's this river carrying me? Fate is not your enemy. It can be a great teacher if you will allow it. Enter the void, sink down into that space, create spaces of nothingness. You can do this by obviously meditating, envisioning yourself going to that space, God frequency, divinity. You'll feel it, I promise. I think one of these days I'm going to have to make some sort of meditation. You can do this by journaling, dream walking, simply sitting in silence with no plan, just to see what happens. And in that 0 point space, you can see the codes that you are running, the patterns that you are looping, the cycles that you keep spinning with. You're going to see it all. And in that space, co-create, recode, and repattern. In the void, speak new instructions. Speak it out loud. Speak it to yourself. Speak it to that divinity. Say what it is that you want to experience. See yourself living differently. Feel it and anchor that into your body. And when you come up out of that, the river begins to shift. Either it's going to take a turn, it's going to widen. You're going to flow a lot easier in that river. Reality bends for you. Fate itself gives you the structure, right? And free will gives you the brushstrokes. The void gives you the palette of infinite colors and infinite choices. What will you choose? We're not here to have full control of reality itself, nor are we here to surrender passively to destiny. I think we're here to dance with the divine, weaving between what is written, what is chosen, and what is birthed in the dark womb of the void. What are you going to create? How are you going to recode your experience? This is the power of co-creation. This is how we return again and again and again closer to that oneness, to that unity, to that God frequency, through shadow, through choice, through the river, through our flow, and through our silence at its end. Let me know your thoughts. If you go into the void, let me know what you think. How does it feel? What did you learn about your coding? What did you learn about your patterns? And what did you repattern? How are you choosing to co-create? Until next time.